When your basic rights are taken from you, you can lay down on the ground and accept it, or you can fight to get them back. And that's what we did, the students of Serbia. I'm Predrag Jankovic. I'm 24 years old and I come from Novi Sad in Serbia. I have been a student for the last 4 years of my life. Hopefully, I'll have a degree in economy sometime soon. I consider myself to be quite a typical Serbian student.
Otvaraj. Otvaraj. Ajde, otvaraj konju. Ajde, da mi snima čovjek jebote. Nemoj mi zajebavati.
Ministri inostranih poslova Evropske unije kriza na jugu Srbije biće prevedena na albanski jezik do četvrtka i dostavljena na albanskim političkim predstavnicima.
Kako su rekli na dnevniku jedan? 2 minute, umro je Davram i zdravo. Evo te, uspio napraviti pola sata.
Bio guverner banke, u vreme najveće inflacije, ovo ono, trudio se, dao jebote.
Veliko, kad te vidiš tim rukavicama, misliš će se boliti jebote.
Dobro je da ga
Šta je to?
Anal specialist. Pazi, ima njega.
Kriza na jugu Srbije biće prevedena na albanski jezik do četvrtka i dostavljena na albanskim političkim predstavnicima.
Tražena prekinuta zbog incidenta između zadanog ministra odbrane Slobodana Krakovića i predsjednika Srpske radikalne stranke Miroslava Šešelja.
Main actor in that fight was most extreme politician in our parliament. And he's always fighting, he's always shouting, he's always trying to kick someone. And
Fight in Yugoslav parliament, that's why we're here. You've seen it from the outside, now you see it from the inside. It's inside.
It's easy to joke with the politicians, but that usually doesn't change the way they act out their power. The politicians, or should I say, the politician, that came to power in the late 80s was no joke at all. He changed our history. He changed our perception and our perspectives. He changed my history. My brother was on his way home from the library. He came upon a rally, a gathering of supporters of Slobodan Milosevic. Just because he came too close and he was young, police became suspicious of him and put him into arrest. During the last years, many young people were arrested and interrogated by police. That was something we knew about, but when it happens near you, it's different. The results of previous government are not bad, they're disasters. The economy collapsed, we lost like 4 different wars, were expelled from all international organizations. That's about it. Nothing good, only the worst. The municipal elections in winter of 96 and 97 were the first elections in which I could vote. I had a feeling that I was doing something important and that for the first time I'm creating a little piece of the future of my country. The opposition parties were winning, but Milosevic controlled the electoral commissions and he refused to recognize the results of the election. Basically, my vote was ignored and neglected. That was my first participation in a student protest. It lasted for 100 days. Time went by and student demonstrations started and ended. But as everyday life came, nothing changed. Well, some things did change. The economy was getting worse and worse. Unemployment was high and salaries were very low. Eventually, the universities and the national media were more or less controlled by the government. For some, it was not worth the time waiting for political change.
Many intellectuals and intelligent people left the country because simply they couldn't make enough money for decent living. They couldn't improve themselves or advance, so they had to go somewhere else where their qualities are going to be recognized, because here it wasn't possible. So crowded because people need visas, and Western countries want to prevent people from immigrating illegally and finding the jobs there and staying in. So the procedure for getting visa is pretty strict and rigid and complicated.
My role as a student in this period of Serbian history might not have been all that big, but I'm glad I stayed, that I didn't leave the country for something better. It's about our future. It's not about the people who are now retired or anything. It's our future. It's our country, and it's our job to do something about it.
There they are.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Da trebaš nekako da stigneš da sad se sprediš na kraju. Ćao.
Samo nemoj nos.
Ne možemo se slije s temena. Može.
Može i on tako
Jedino ali ako...
In 1998, the student movement Otpor was established by the students from the University of Belgrade.
Niko nije dobio.
Niko nije dobio, svi su
Niko.
konkurisani.
Svi su pukli, svi smo zajedno, mislim, onom pritili smo ponovo tamo da poredimo. Svi su pukli, samo sam ja dobio.
Samo ti i Dunja je dobila.
Da, Dunja. Dobro, Dunja je posebno.
Otpor means resistance, and it had three basic demands: fair and free elections, free universities, and free and independent media. As time went by, Otpor grew bigger and bigger. Students from all over Serbia joined in. The next crossroad was the elections, autumn 2000. The goal was to gather all the power and energy of 100 days of protests into one big rally. People from all over Serbia were called to come to Belgrade.
Right there on the station, I felt the smell of tear gas, and I went uphill in direction of the Federal Parliament building, and I saw black smoke above the city, and I asked some woman what is burning, and she told me the Federal Parliament building is burning. And I ran uphill because we didn't have any idea what was going to happen on that day.
October 5th. The world's attention was on Belgrade.
Flere 100 000 demonstranter samlet seg i ettermiddag i sentrum av Beograd, og en del av dem stormet den føderale parlamentsbygningen. Opprørspolitiet brukte tåregass mot demonstrantene, men de måtte etter hvert gi etter for folkemengden. En del demonstranter stormet inn i parlamentsbygningen og satte fyr på den. Tykk, svart røyk veltet ut fra bygningen, og flammer slo ut fra vinduene. Den politiske opposisjonen sier at den nå kontrollerer den føderale parlamentsbygningen. Mange av demonstrantene
For the first time during those years, I felt that something really, really big and important is going on, that something is going to change, and that something we dreamt about for all those years is finally becoming truth. And when your dreams become truth, then you have to be thrilled and excited among hundreds of thousands of people standing around you. I think something's changed, and it's still changing very slowly. But now, I think we have some future, and we see that some better times are maybe coming. So this is the place where all that began, and I'm very proud that I was a part of these events, because I think we did something great for this country we love.
Za zločine koji su prema našem narodu učinjeni, a eto, čiji su svedoci i ove zgrade koje se nalaze oko nas, da za te zločine budu optuženi patriote i ljudi u ovoj zemlji koji su se borili da svoju zemlju odbrane. Da je to čitav jedan proces čiji je žrtva Dragoljub Milosevic.
We are here in front of a government building. There are demonstrations of supporters of Slobodan Milosevic and the previous regime. I kind of understand them because we were demonstrating for years, and but there is one big difference because the police is just standing around. They're not clubbing them or chasing them away. They are searching for their justice, something they think is good, and they are still supporting Milosevic, and they're against the trial for him in Hague. I don't support them, but I understand what they are doing, and fortunately there's not many of them.
Terorista i separatista koji su, znate dobro, činili zločine prema našem narodu, našoj vojsci i našoj policiji.
Very important thing for Serbia is to get into the Europe again. Neither country in this world can survive alone, and especially Serbia. So that's why we have to rebuild our bridges with other European countries and with our neighbors, of course. That's absolutely necessary. The main task of young generation in this country is to be more devoted to it and to stay here, because enough people already left, and we have to reconstruct this country and to rebuild it to make it a better place to live for us and for our children and grandchildren. For the first time I can see the chance for that to happen, and I think that I can stay here because I would like my children to live in this country. It was a good place to live, and I know it can be a good place to live again.